Hey, welcome to the Beehive. I am so excited for you to be a part of this community. And in this recording, I'm going to pull you into the back end with one of my helper bees. We're going to walk you through all the logistics of this new platform so that navigating this community, these new friendships, and this circle can be super seamless and easy for you. You can go ahead and send any additional comments and questions to the email listed in the description below. And we're so glad you're here with us. My goal is really from this call for you guys to have a good understanding of what is, behind the curtain, so to speak, what is in the Beehive membership, and then most importantly, how to easily navigate the platform, where you're going to see any updates, where you're going to see some important links as they come up. Really want to dive into these chat rooms, these circles that we're going to be growing as we do more and more in the community. We're going to have more and more of these circles. And this is, where you're going to find your people within the people. So we're going to do a screen share and show you all the things. But just from like a personal perspective, I felt like for a long time, just as a busy woman, a busy mom, focused on work and the kids, like I didn't have a sense of community. I didn't have time for it. Whatever, I think, a lot of us experience this where we don't have time to like seek out and find the women that are living life the way that we are. And so I felt lonely and isolated, although very happy in my life and obviously very busy and heartful with my children. I just felt like I wanted something more. I wanted women to have these elevated conversations with, and also to have conversations with when stuff got tough that were just like real. And the more and more I started doing that, I realized like I wasn't alone. The things that I was experiencing were things that every woman was experiencing, and that these were the kinds of conversations that I wanted to have more of. I think what's beautiful, I think we like navigate a lot of interesting challenges, being that so much of our life has gone online and boundaries with screens for ourselves and our children. But I think one of the beautiful things that comes from that is the opportunity to find our people and be connected with women all over the world. I mean, the handful of women that I check in with on the regular basis live all over the country and the world. And these are some of my favorite women. And so, ideally, I think we create these communities within our physical space so we can have in-person meetups. And that is something that happens. It's like when you start to approach life as your whole self, and when we start to live this way, we become magnets. People feel energy, and people are magnetically attracted to people that are aligned and connected and real and authentic. And so, as I think we like take these baby steps in approaching life from this place in a safe online community, what you're going to start to see happen is women, like-minded women, are going to start to find you. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So this is just the beginning. Okay, so without further ado, just again, any questions you guys have, put them in the chat room. We will definitely answer them. We're going to show you the new platform, drmelissasaunders.com. Everything is now moved over there. You can still go on the BeInspiredMama.com site, but we're not going to be loading any new information there. This is your new platform for anything I'm sharing. And then we'll show you the Book Nook arm of that, where to join for anyone who's completely new, just real quick. And then we'll show you the new community, the Beehive, where you can get information, where you can join. And then really the brunt of this call is going to show you the back end of that so you can navigate those circles. So Christina, go ahead and take the screen share. All right, so this is the new website, drmelissasaunders.com. This is where you're going to find literally everything. There's some freebies on here. So I would first say, let's show resources, the third tab over. This is where all the freebies have moved. For those of you that have been with me for a while, you've probably done all these freebies, except the journaling journey. I am going to be adding new ones this year. For anyone new to the community, all of these buttons are free journeys that you can take yourself on. The connection code, just real quick, is this short video. It's like 5 minutes, and a PDF that goes with it. The goal of that is to help you in those 2 minutes that you find throughout the day of actual space, that instead of grabbing your phone, you actually know what to do in those 2 minutes that like nourishes your soul. So I think a lot of times when we actually come up with these couple minutes here and there, they go too quick. We don't have time to actually make a decision like, what do I want to do? What should I be doing? So after you go through the connection code, the goal is, okay, if I've got 2 minutes and I'm feeling tired, I'm going to sip tea slowly. That's it. If I've got 2 minutes and I'm feeling like I'm in my head and super stressed, I know a 2 minute thing that can get me back into my body. So I can either get back to work in a connected, grounded state or get back to my children or my family or whatever it is. The 5-day challenge of being self with is the first version I shared of how to change up your morning ritual and routine. Each day you get an email with one thing to change up in your morning. I love the mornings and the nights, the first things we do in the morning and the last thing we do at the end of the day. We're in a very programmable state. And so this is how we can start to shift out of like chaos, anxiety, stress, etc., the normal feelings that we tend to feel throughout the day, and start to literally train our subconscious to recognize and find states of calm and balance. We're going to go way beyond that as one of our first journeys in the Beehive. That's going to be one of the first things we do, but this is a great place to start for anyone who's new. I'm going to skip Book Nook for a minute. Journaling journey. Go ahead and Christine, if you click on that. This is new for everybody. This can be something kind of fun while you guys are waiting for our first journey in the Beehive. So this is, it's like a quick, it's called a webinar. I think it's 30 minutes, kind of touching on this new way to approach self-care as women. And I'm going to walk you through 5 framework steps and 5 journaling prompts to start to kind of retrain how we approach self-care. I think for so much of our life, it's been yet another to-do on our list. It's like, yeah, go get a massage or go get, whatever, an hour-long appointment, an escape from your life. That's self-care. Well, what about when we don't have time or we don't want to spend extra money? Or more importantly, like we go and we do these things and then we drop right back into the same life. So everything I'm wanting to do in the Beehive is change the way that we approach self-care. So this is a teaser into a journaling journey that we'll be doing together later this year in the Beehive. I'm going to give you journaling prompts. I actually made a personalized journal. All the first few members of the Beehive will be getting that in their mail. But basically, simply the goal with the journaling journey is that the first 5 minutes of the day and the last 5 minutes of the day, again, super programmable state. So what we're going to do in the journaling journey is we are going to do 30 days of journaling together during that time. What's going to happen when we do journaling is we start to tap into our voice. We start to listen to and put our needs first rather than jumping into the world and hearing everybody else's. So this is a really important time to start to get back to ourselves. This is how we get connected to what I'm calling our whole self. So in the journaling process, there might even be like some free flow writing where it's full on like I'm angry at, I'm pissed off because like I don't like this that's going on. Like this is a place to do that because what we start to see and explore are these patterns in our life that aren't serving us anymore. And this is again where, I want to be having the honest conversations. This is about empowerment and positive living. And it's also about listening to that other voice that we have because it's a really important aspect of approaching life as our whole self, which leads to better relationships, more self-assuredness, more confidence, more ability to hold our boundaries and actually take care of ourselves in the busyness of life. So you guys could do that today, next week, this weekend, whatever. That is the next thing. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and just take a quick peek at Book Nook for anyone new here. So you can click on that tab at the top. So Book Nook is a free online community for women. We started this last January. Each month I pick a book. All of these books are pretty much a length where if you can read 5 pages a day, you can get through this book in a month. I have continued to say in this community, I don't care if you read it at all. You can still come to the meetups. It's like this book is kind of like our syllabus or our curriculum for the month. But really the conversations that we aim to have in this community is like how to apply these principles to our lives as women. The cool thing about reading a book together is that each of us are going to read a different book, essentially, even though we're reading the same words on a page, because each message is going to reflect what we're experiencing in our lives. And so it's really cool because, in some of these discussions, I'll even see people write things and I'm like, I didn't even see that. I didn't even read that. Like, that's not at all what I got out of that. So it's a really neat shared experience. This page is where you'll see our next upcoming books. Just real quick to touch on those. Right now we're reading Thrive in Overdrive with Dr. Patrick Porter. This is about how you change how you show up in your life, no matter what's going on, which I think is the key to everything. Can't control what's going on in our lives. We can just control how we approach it. Next month, this is so cool. We're reading The Power of Eight by Lynn McTaggart. I don't know if any of you know her. Janine, I imagine you've seen this woman, right? Or you followed her. So her and Dr. Joe Dispenza did a lot together in the early days. Lynn McTaggart will be coming into our community call. I'll talk about that in a minute. But she's all about the power in a small community of like-minded people and how together with our intentions and what we're focusing on, we can heal ourselves and we can literally change the world. And so we're going to be doing some really cool stuff with this book. I want to do something called the rice experiment, where I'm going to have you guys make jars of rice. My friend Melanie did this, and it's really cool to do with your children, or you could do it with the plants, whatever. There's really neat science on this. I forget how to say his name, but it's like the scientist Matsunui. He did this with water. And the whole point of all of this is to really start to see how we talk to ourselves, how we live completely impacts us from a cellular level. And so whether we use rice or water or plants, we're going to set up different parts of this experiment and say loving words to like the one jar of rice, say hateful words to the other, and say nothing to the third. And we're going to watch what happens. And then we're going to be doing some other things collectively as a group around this. The authors to the books come into the Beehive call. So I'll get more into that in a minute. But just a couple more things on Book Nook. Other books not listed here are December, January. Okay, so for January, we're bringing in New York Times best-selling author Dr. Mindy Peltz, and we're going to read Eat Like a Girl. It's a great recipe book, and there's a lot of information in there about how to eat according to your hormones as women. Mindy will be coming on to our call to answer any Q&A in the Beehive in January. In February, we're going to I thought it'd be really neat to get into our hearts. So we're going to read this book called Dare to Feel, The Transformational Path of the Heart. Alex Roro is an incredible author. She'll be joining us in our call. March, we're going to read Do Less by Kate Northrup, a revolutionary approach to time and energy management for ambitious women. She wants to add to it. She said she wants to not only teach us how to do less, but she wants to teach us how to make more money while doing less, which I thought was really cool. And then lastly, in April, I'm bringing in Dr. Anna Kabeka. She's a DO, an OBGYN, and her book, The Hormone Fix, is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. She takes a holistic approach to all of our hormones, all of our needs as women. She's an incredible doctor, author, all the things. So super excited. She'll be in our call in April. So now let's go ahead and head over to the Beehive. Hi, Miss Kaya. Huh? Okay, you guys can play a game.
Hi, Christina.
Okay.
Hi,
Beehive, this is where you are going to learn more about what's going on and if this is the right fit for you. This is kind of like the outside, a little video on why the Beehive, what we're doing, some information, and then an opportunity to join. This is a paid membership. I kept the price as low as possible. It's $19 a month. It's $200 for the year. The founder's discount ends, I think, at 6 p.m. today, and that gives you half off. It's $100 for the year. It's like $10 a month. So super inexpensive, just enough to help cover my incredible growing staff. But take advantage. If you want that code, put it in the chat room because that ends today. All right, Christina, let's go behind the curtain now and into the community. So any of you who've paid and joined, you've got this set up already. Christina, I'm going to let you take the mic and walk through maybe anyone who hasn't joined yet. When they join, what's going to happen? They're going to get an email with that login?
Yes. So once you join and you put all your information in and you set up your account,
it's going to actually take you right to this landing page. So it's called the library. And this is where you're going to get access to basically everything that you do in this community. We were practicing for some of our challenges that are coming up, but this is where you're going to be able to get into what we've been talking about, the community where everybody's going to kind of live and comment and ask questions and connect. So when you're on the website, um, you'll go to the login button. And then once you log in, you'll be able to kind of go over. So do you want to go right to the community email?
Sure.
All right. So we'll go to that product. So this is the like back end part of it. The first thing you're always going to see is this feed. So this is where Dr. Melissa is going to post and pin up the really important ones for the day. That way you guys can see everything that's going on. You can comment on it. You can ask questions here. And then on the side here, on the left, is where you'll see all the different circles. So these are like all the different chat rooms, and they are designed to kind of keep the same topic of conversation happening. So once we start talking about Thrive in Overdrive, any updates on that, they're all going to be in this, what's called a circle.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So each month, as we expand on the books, the circle for that book will always stay there. So if you ever want to go back and ask questions, whatever, this is also where you're going to see the upcoming books. I'll probably start to load the rest of them. The Power of Eight, I went ahead and listed early on. Lynn McTaggart, due to her crazy schedule, she actually has to come in like very early in the month. I think it's December 5th. And she's so sweet. She's like, I really want to bring the best to your community as I can. I really want to make it personal for them. So she's wanting us to get a list of questions and get them to her as soon as we have it. So, anyone who's like wrapped up Patrick Porter's book, or just, I know a lot of us will kind of peek into books at once, really start to, get your questions, comments together so I can give her a list. But that's going to be a really exciting call. So anyone in the book nook will have access to those bottom feeds and circles without paying the membership. And then everything else above that, only people in the paid membership get access to. But we can go ahead and click and look in there. Yep. So this is where Christina, helper B, remind me when we've got the links for the calls with the authors, is that going to go in the circle or on the feed for the Beehive?
Yeah, so we're probably going to put it in both.
Mhm.
So not only you're going to get in so many different places. So you'll get it in an email how you normally would, but you'll also see it on this general feed, which is this button right here. So once there is a call link, just like there was for today, you're going to see that really important message, what it's called. It's pinned. So it's always going to be at the top, and then anything else that isn't pinned will be down below it. And then you can also go directly into one of those chat rooms, that circle on the side, and we'll also post it there. So you'll see it in multiple different places. So you'll have access.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, go back on the feed, go on the post from today where you added the survey link.
Yes.
So at least once a month, go ahead and keep it on the survey, Christina. At least once a month and maybe twice a month, I'm going to send out a survey to the Beehivers. And this is where I'm going to continue to, this is a new platform. We're building this together, essentially, like you guys, especially the founders. I really want your voice and your input in here. It means a lot to me. So this first survey that we sent out, this actually went to, I think, the full Book Nook list. From here, these surveys I'm always going to make super quick and easy. So like 2 minutes or less, hopefully it takes you to fill out. This first one is going to help me gear, like how many touch base calls do we want in the month? Do you guys want to do, obviously, if you're a Beehive member, you're getting on the call with the author. But in addition to that, do we want like a weekly Sunday chat? Do we want an every other weekly? Like answering is not going to lock it into anything, but I just want your input. I know we all have really busy lives, so I want it to be fun, not pressure. And obviously, you're not required to be on any of them. Those of you that know and have been in the calls, you know it's super low pressure. So again, it's not quizzes. Like you can literally come to the call and have read none of the book. It doesn't matter. I'll always come with kind of like a theme and intention. And I love when we all have our cameras on and chat, but there's never any pressure. Christina, can you share the founders link in the chat? Someone's asking. And then I also put, or Amanda, one of our helper bees, put in the survey, like what times are good for you guys. And I know it's really interesting because we've got European audience, we've got West Coast, we've got East Coast, we've got full-time jobs, we've got people that are home with their kids. So just go ahead and answer that, and I'm going to do my best. And I think probably what's going to happen is a bit of like a rotation. I can see a place for some like really nice Sunday chats. I think that would be a great day to chat books and maybe easy for people. But I've also just got to rotate for the weekly people as well. And then I'm going to be sending one out very soon about our first challenge, the 5-minute morning sit spot. So similar to those of you that filled out the one on oh, what did we do? Oh, we did that whole input call. You know, I want your input in building out this community. So I'm going to want to know kind of where you're starting from. Like, do you already have this sit spot? We talked about this a little bit on the input call. Um, what are your challenges with like getting this 5 minutes to you in the morning? So I'm touching on all the roadblocks in people's lives, whether it's their family or their dog or their kids or just their putting it last on their list so that I can really build this 5-minute sit challenge out in a way that actually works and moves the needle for you. I think so many of the things that we've done as women trying to either start a morning routine or a workout routine or putting ourselves higher up the to-do list, there's things that get in the way. And the reality is we all have very similar things. And so those things are the things I want to talk about and work through and use in these journeys so that we're actually making these changes in our life. I want this to be real. I'm going to keep saying that, you know, it's not just like, yeah, let's do this thing. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be great. No, let's talk about it. I think I've shared with some of you guys, like for me at first, when I was doing the morning thing, there was the whole kid challenge, right? Here's one right now. Yeah.
Me and Chris are gonna go in the front yard.
Okay. Love it. And then there was also my husband who I have an incredible relationship with, but like he felt I was leaving him behind. And so these things are going to come up as we do this. And so how do we navigate it in a way so that we don't just stop taking care of ourselves because of how it impacts everybody else? Because guess what? When I stayed true to myself and I was like, I love you, but I need this time, like I'm now a better wife to him. And we just have our communication and our bonding and connection time at a different time. Like we've got to talk through these challenges and roadblocks together because so many of us have similar ones. So the surveys are really important. I know one of the links in there was incorrect. It's now fixed. So you guys can go ahead and do that survey as soon as you're able. And we'll start to build out the circle for Thrive and Overdrive, which obviously we're kind of wrapping up, but then we'll really hit it for the Power of 8 book, which will be really fun. Christina, what are we missing? Anything else on here? Let's see. Joanna saying weekly calls.
So I'd say eventually the meetups would happen on this community. We are playing with them to figure out exactly how it all works. But once we figure that out in the future, when we do those calls, they'll happen here. Once there's a live one, you'll see how many people are in it. So it will come up almost like a one that's here. And then you can just click right in here and join that live that's happening. And then they will be recorded and they'll also live here afterwards in case you want to go back and watch them for references.
Yeah, I love that. Everything will be super easy in there. And then show them again, go back to the library, right? Isn't that where like a lot of the stuff will live? So
Yep.
anything they purchase or anything they get access to, you can always hop in from here. So, you know, like Christina said, so we're playing around with building out this one journey for later in the year. But this is where all of your journeys we're going to go through will live. So you can always go back in one of the things we're going to do. I think this is so fun. I would love to hear in the chat what you guys think. So I love, have you built a vision board ever in the past? It's like this thing a lot of people do in January. You build your vision board and you get like a poster board and you cut out the magazines and you find fun words and like all the things you're going to do or be this year. And I've had like a whale shark on mine every year for the last 3 years. Like I want to swim with a whale shark. And so I was kind of chuckling with my friend, like, I love the vision board. And I'm like, God, yet again, I didn't swim with the whale shark. But I also have, this super realistic, like just connection with my family and all those things. But everything we're doing in here, it's like, it's not your mother's self-care routine anymore. It's not your sister's vision board. Like, we're going to do it in a way that works for us. We're going to do it differently. So screw the 1 year vision board. I want to do our daily vision board. And so let's keep it small and simple and actually make these changes. So in our vision board journey that we're going to do, it's going to be like, how do you want your day to look? What do you want your day to feel like? Because that's where we actually start to make changes. It's not this huge, lofty, let me change my entire year. Let me set this goal for the entire year. Like, how about today? And let's look at the things we can actually start to bring into our lives. And I think we take a realistic approach and we also dream a bit. I mean, it's literally how our family ended up in Miami. It's a crazy thing. Like I knew I wanted nature for our children. I knew I wanted bike rides and all these things. And it was completely not realistic with what was going on in our lives. And I sat every morning and I pictured our ideal day. And it looked like bike rides to the parks and bike rides at night and being in a like-minded community. And I had no idea how or what, or like it made no sense. And then all of a sudden, this school presented itself that happened to be in the same town as the school my husband is going to for his PhD. Like that is how this stuff works. And so when we can start to look at things realistically and like chunk them down and also start to dream a little bit and take active steps, there's literally like this magical force that starts to work with us, whether it's God or source or universe or quantum. It is real, it is scientifically proven, and this is the formula and how you tap in. And we're going to be doing that together here. And it's so fun. I'm so freaking excited. I love that you guys are here. Okay. So also on this toolbar, let's see what else we got. This is where the podcast will be. I don't know. I'm curious how many of you guys listen versus watch? Because it's also everything's on the YouTube. So you can put in the chat group. Christina's helping me kind of update some of this to get all of our newest stuff on there. But this is literally where you'll find everything that was on the old site. Yep. Shop. So this is the new journal. I made this personalized for what we're going to be doing later in the journaling journey. There are, I forget how many we did. I think we did 3 months of specific prompts, chunked down by each week. So there's 6 days of like separate walkthroughs. And then on day 7, which ideally would be on Sunday when you have a little bit more time and space, there's a reflection day. And then we're going to have a circle where you go in and share your reflection day. So it's like, how did my week feel different? What am I proud of? What was challenging? All those kinds of things. This is the journal that you guys are going to get. The first 10 founders will be mailing these out this week. And then the last like third of the journal is just empty space. So we can be taking notes on any of our calls. And then anyone who wants to shop the journal, they can do from here. It's like a cute, fun stocking stuffer too for anyone who wants something like that. Shop my favorites. That's moved over from the old website. This is where I've got all like discounts, codes for some of the favorite stuff I talk about for anyone looking for those things. They're all here. And then we're in the middle of wrapping up. This isn't fully loaded yet, but holiday favorites with these discount codes aren't right yet, so don't use them. With even bigger discounts, these are like all the Black Friday sales for the stuff that I love. So those will be finished this week. And the blog, which gets updated every now and then. There's kind of a lot going on. And contact. I think that's everything, right? Yeah. Okay.
But yeah.
So you can, I think that's good with the screen share. If anyone has questions, let us know. Sonia, you do both. Listen when I can't watch. Cool. Okay. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Is that helpful? Do you guys feel comfortable? One of the pinned things in the Beehive, I know we've got a handful of Beehivers in here, is a conversation starter. So kind of like in the chat, like, where are you from? How did you get in here? Like, this is how we start to get to know each other better. And then I would love go ahead in the Thrive and Overdrive circle. We can, Christina, maybe we'll just put like one of the questions we had thought of in there just to get some input. Like, I would love before I go in the call with Patrick Porter and before we're all in there to have an idea of like, what did you guys love about this book? Also, permission to say maybe what you didn't. Like, I, it's okay. I think that's what brings in like really interesting discussion. Um, we don't have to share those things with him, but like we can talk about this. Like, I loved it. It was too much. It was too heady. It was just enough. Uh, would love to talk about all that. Okay, Catherine, can we listen to this again? I'm assuming you're meaning this call. Yes, this is recorded. And we're going to send it out in emails this week. I'm not sure, Catherine, if you're on the list. So I'm going to put Amanda's email here. Go ahead and email her and just say you want to be on the Beehive email list. Christina just linked the survey for anyone who doesn't have it. I would love, love, love if you guys, even today, if you had a minute, fill that out. We're going to continue to build. So, like I said, we're just getting started. With each book, I feel like we're going to dial in even more and more based on your guys' needs and what works best for you. So, thanks for your input. It means so much. And if no one has any further questions, I think we're good and everyone can get on with their Sundays. Thank you guys so much. I'm so excited. I feel like this is something I've been wanting to create for a long time. And I don't know what else to say other than like it feels like I'm doing exactly what I came here to do now. And so I'm just really excited for especially the first people in this community because I know this is like the 10th time I've said it, but this is literally just the beginning. I feel this as being a really big adventure for all of us collectively. And I think the world needs this. And I think most importantly, we all as women here need and we deserve this. Like it's our time. It's our time to do it in a way that actually works for us. So it's going to be really fun.